I hate to say it, but this is turning into a serious problem. We are now hearing from experts all around the world that more attacks here in the United States and on U.S. personnel and troops are on the way. And you will not believe why this is happening. The crazy part, we can do nothing about it. So, today I'm going to explain what's going on. All I want you to do is two things. The first one takes just 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. The second thing, watch this entire video and share it with your friends, your family, and your loved ones over on Facebook so they too know what is going on. So let's get the first question out of the way. Why are more attacks on the United States? Why are these on the way? It's actually pretty simple. According to many experts, they are saying attacks on the United States are going to increase. Not just increase in intensity, but they're also going to increase in frequency. So you're going to see more attacks on the United States. This is going to be attacks on troops over in the Middle East. This means we're going to see additional cyber attacks here on U.S. soil. But the good news, according to the FBI and to Homeland Security, a physical attack here on U.S. soil is not ruled out, but the likelihood is very low. And here's the reason why. The United States continues to back Israel. The United States is also backing Ukraine. The United States is backing certain countries that other countries have a conflict with. For example, Russia against Ukraine. Hamas, okay, which is a terrorist group, not a country, but they have issues with Israel. Now, this happened just the other day. The immigration talks, they broke down, okay? And now they're threatening to sink aid to Israel and Ukraine. This is one of the reasons why this is so important. Because if these talks between lawmakers break down and we don't see any additional aid go to Ukraine to help them win this war between them and Russia, well, they could potentially lose the war, according to President Zelensky. Also, if the United States doesn't provide additional funding to Israel, they might not have the necessary means to speed up the war, which according to the defense minister just this morning, he is saying that this war at its current intensity will last at least 2 more months, which means for the next 2 more months, the United States could be on the hook for all these people that are losing their lives in this war between Israel and Hamas. Again, other countries absolutely hate that. Now, I want to read you this. This is what one Democrat aide had to say just today. It says, one Democrat aide said their negotiators have offered proposals to speed up and streamline processing of asylum claims, and even put on the table changes to the credible fear of a standard for having one's claim approved, against the wishes of immigration advocates. But the aide said Republicans are insisting on extreme policies that would end asylum as we know it and create expansive powers to shut down the border, which they cannot stomach. That's the plan as of right now. That's why negotiators are going back and forth. But at the same time, how can this really increase the intensity of this war that's going on between Israel and Hamas? Well, it's actually pretty simple. There's another problem. The longer this war drags on, the more we are seeing from Hamas. For instance, let's look at why the ceasefire didn't get extended. It says Israel would consider another ceasefire to get back hostages. Said government spokesman defends Israel over civilian deaths. Now, why are they doing this? Well, it's because of this. Israel would consider another short-term ceasefire if an agreement can be reached with Hamas to return more than 137 hostages still in captivity. The agreement was Hamas would return women and children first. They actually didn't do that. According to reports, they still have 20 women, 2 boys, and 115 men. The key here is the 20 women and the 2 boys. That's the key, those 22 people. But this is where things are getting somewhat, it's tough. This is very tough because of this. U.S. officials say Hamas is trying to hide treatment of women hostages. Now, why would they do such a thing? Well, it's actually pretty simple. I want to read you this. It says the fact that it seems one of the reasons they don't want to turn women over, that they've been holding hostage, and the reason this pause fell apart is they don't want those women to be able to talk about what happened to them during their time in captivity. Obviously talking about sexual violence. This is hard to stomach. Because if this is true, there will be no, we're not going to be very lenient against these Hamas leaders. And this is why some are saying that this could go from bad to worse. According to the Associated Press, says Israel strikes in and around Gaza's second largest city in a bloody new phase of war. This is going to take many, many lives. Men, women, children, the innocent. It's going to take many lives. But here's what Israel is considering. Instead of continuing to attack the surface, what if they go into the tunnels where Hamas is hiding? Well, they've tried that and it's taking too long. So, according to Reuters, Israel is considering flooding Gaza tunnels with seawater. One way to flush out people is to flood the tunnels. That's it. Flood them. Now, here's the hard part. You would have to flood every single tunnel. And could they flood every single tunnel at the exact same time with troops up on the surface waiting for people to come out? They could. But at the same time, by flooding these tunnels, what could happen is we could also take the lives of these 20 women, these 2 children, and 115 men that are still held in captivity. Yeah. But this is why we continue to hear these talks that all this stuff that's happening in Israel and in Gaza, this is serious. This is what is going to cause more attacks on the United States, because as the United States and other countries are sending aid to the people of Gaza, Hamas is able to get their hands on it. And so we have to be very careful here. We can't send too much, because then Hamas gets it. They take it underground, and now they have it. But we can't send too little, because if we do that, the problem is the people of Gaza, they are the ones that are hurting. Look at this. Look at this article from today. It says Israeli forces surround main Gaza refugee camp. UN warns of worsening catastrophic situation. If we are surrounding the main refugee camp, that's a problem. That is going to escalate. And that's not what we want. Speaking of escalation, we talked about this the other day, where a U.S. Navy warship had to gun down more threats as American forces get pulled deeper into fights being fueled by Israel's war with Hamas. That's the big concern. Okay? You're probably wondering, well, how does this war between Israel and Hamas, how does this really impact us here in the United States? It impacts us because we are pushing for a ceasefire, which Hamas would love, where Israel would love it as well, but as long as Hamas sticks to their deal, sticks to their end, they have to release women and children. There's still 22 people they have not released, and according to reports this morning, they may not, especially the women. And we don't know if the other 2 children are still alive. That's the problem. That's the concern. So again, this war is far from over. And if this war goes on for 2 more months at its current intensity, it's going to take thousands and thousands of more lives. Likely civilians, innocent people. Now, what we do know is that the United States Navy destroyer, they responded to the incidents in the Red Sea. Okay? They shot down drones, they shot down missiles. We are expecting that is going to continue. The hope, though, is they continue to shoot down these drones and missiles without taking any lives. The reason why, if the United States takes a life, Iran or these Iranian-backed groups are likely to respond in kind, and they will try to take a life as well. Okay? Hopefully, no, they don't succeed. Now, here's where it's turning into a problem. U.S. officials are now frustrated with President Biden and the Biden administration's response to the attacks in the Red Sea. We were told that the United States would respond in kind, but they haven't. We are continue to wait because they are trying to assess the situation. But according to experts, they say that the Biden administration has been very slow at assessing the situation. The situation is only getting more intense. And as it gets more intense, here's the problem. We are now starting to see more and more military personnel back out. They don't want to jump into this fight because they don't feel like they have the support of the Biden administration. And I know this because I've talked to a few people over this past week, and they've said the exact same thing. They don't feel like they have the backing of the United States. That the United States, and especially the Biden administration, is going to put all these people in harm's way, but really for what? Because they're not doing anything. They're sending troops overseas, but they're sitting there. They're sitting ducks because they're being told not to attack. How crazy is that? But according to a report from Reuters, Iran says it is not involved in any actions against U.S. military forces. That's what they're saying, that they are not involved in any actions. However, they are the ones that are bankrolling all these different groups. All right? Hamas, Hezbollah. Iran is bankrolling these groups. So yes, Iran does have some involvement in all these attacks. But the big question now is, where do we go from here? Honestly, I wish I could give you an answer. I wish I could tell you this is what's going to happen. You need to do this, this, and this. However, it is not that, not that clear cut. We do not know exactly what's going to happen. That's why I come on here every single day, try to fill you in on all the latest news and updates. And as always, I will continue to do the same. So again, all I ask is two things. First, hit the like button on this video. Also, make sure you subscribe so you never miss an update. But share this video with your friends, your family, and your loved ones over on Facebook so they too know what is going on. But again, that's what we got for you guys today. As always, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.